Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Randy here at Island Family Chiropractic, and I'd like to welcome you back to another video, part 2 on torque release technique, which is the technique we use in the office here. I want to deal with a little bit of how torque release works and what it is that we actually do with torque release. Basically, one of the biggest factors in health today is stress. We hear about stress a lot, but it truly is one of the largest components of our health today. Stress comes in 3 different forms. First is physical stress, which is pretty obvious, the strains and the bumps and the jolts and whatnot that we get. The next is emotional stress, and unfortunately in today's life we all seem to have a little more emotional stress, whether it's family stress, money stress, job stress, all those are classed as emotional stress. And the third type is chemical or toxic stress. That's the stress from some of the bad things we eat, drink, or breathe. Good. Now, we're able to respond to stress in an amazing way. Our body is set up physiologically so that when we are under stress, all kinds of different reactions happen and allow us to be able to deal with that. One of the big things that has to happen in stress for us to deal efficiently is we have 2 parts to our brain. We have the hindbrain, which is the oldest part of our brain, the part that runs all the reflexes, does it all the function of the body without us consciously thinking about it. And then we have the frontal cortex, which is the part that allows us to think and to reason. And when we're under stress, what happens is our frontal brain shuts down because we're not supposed to have time to think about what we're going to do, and our hindbrain becomes very active so that we'll react very, very quickly. So in that case, what happens is that when stress comes, our adrenals start kicking out all kinds of cortisol. Now this allows a number of things to happen so that the body can respond. Things such as our blood supply changes. The blood normally inside into our organs and everything, it's transferred out to the outside of the body, to the muscles, so our muscles can react very quickly. Our digestion shuts down. We don't need that at the moment when we're fighting our tiger or whatever. Our immune system shuts down. We're not worried about that right at the moment. And other things happen too. Our LDH, cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol we hear about, it increases in the blood because we need that for wound healing. Other things is that we require sugars, so we crave sugars so that because it can be digested very quickly to give us energy. Because our brains are different under stress, our feel-good chemicals, our hormones that make us feel good, they're no longer there. And all those things are great because we don't need that at the moment when we're fighting for our life. The last thing that happens is the thing that concerns us most in chiropractic, and that's our posture. Because when you're under stress, your posture is immediately a flex, tight posture. And that, again, is good when you're under stress, but as I'll talk about, it's not the greatest when you're trying to live day to day. So normally, when we go into this stress response, it's supposed to be something that we deal with. So in other words, back in the prehistoric days and the dinosaurs chasing us, either we get away from that dinosaur because of all these neat things happening in our body, or the dinosaur catches us and eats us and it's done that way too. So either way, stress, we react and it's done. Then we go back into our balance sort of way. The problem with our society today that we're seeing is that so many of us are under a constant level of stress that our stress response never actually goes away. So all those things I just explained to you about that happen, continue to happen, and don't allow our bodies to function properly. We are no longer able to adapt to our environment when we're in all those different stress responses. We make bad decisions because our frontal cortex are shut down. We're reactive. We crave sugar. All kinds of things that are only supposed to exist for a short period of time start lasting over and over again. And if you can't adapt to your environment, the body will get out of ease, it'll get dis-ease and lead to dis-ease. Now, in chiropractic, why this is so important for us is the bit about the posture. Because when we go forward and our head comes back, that typical stress posture, what's actually happening is we are actually stretching our spinal cord. Now, because the body relies completely on the nervous system to run. It's going to do everything in its power to be as efficient as possible. And the spinal cord has to have a certain tension on it at all times for the messages to pass through there. When that tension changes, because we're flexed forward like this, the body has to adapt or make changes. And what it'll do in the spine is it will physically start to create tensions and stresses at different parts of the spine, trying to bring that tension of the cord back to normal. Now, the thing about that is when those physical stresses and tensions build up, that's what's allowing the emotional tension, the stressful tension, to turn into physical problems. And that's when pain hits the spine and we get back pain. Traditional manual chiropractic tends to focus on finding those reactions to our posture like that and correcting them, and truthfully that's where a lot of sometimes the back pain comes from. What our focus here at Island Family and using torque release is that we want to go a little deeper. We want to find the stresses underneath that cause those physical adaptations to happen. And what we find in torque release is that those are the tensions at the very top of the spine and the very bottom of the spine that are feeling that flex forward. And through the ability of being able to read a spine and find those underlying tensions, we can beautifully release those. When you release those tensions, the body no longer needs those secondary physical changes up and down the spine that it made, and the whole spine will start to unwind and relax. And it's just a beautiful thing to watch a person's spine unwind and the person come out of that real stress reaction. The big thing is that we've got to remember, and we're always talking with patients, and we'll probably deal in another video with it, is that we're going to take the stress out of your spine, out of your nervous system, so the body can react and be healthier. But we've got to watch what keeps coming back in, okay? But we're hoping that as we get you out of the stress response and your forebrain comes up and you don't crave sugars and all this and your lifestyle's better, that you won't go back into that constant ongoing stress that puts us into this mode in the first place. So I hope this explained a little bit deeper as to what we are doing. People always ask us, what are you doing when you're examining us every day? So this is a little bit about it. Please visit our website at www.islandfamilychiro.ca for more videos, more information, and refer your family and friends if they're interested too. It's a great way for them to learn a little bit more about us. You can check us out on Facebook, or you can also call the office and talk to our fine staff, Jade or Mel, at 250-652-9350. So this is Dr. Andy saying thank you, and join us again. Bye-bye.